Hello there Yu-Gi-Oh fans, and welcome to the Aromage Yu-Gi-Oh channel. It's Peanut here bringing you another deck profile today. This one is a little bit off the pace and a little bit different, however it's immensely fun and it's something I enjoy using online quite a lot. And this one today is Aromage. So general focus of Aromage, there's a lot of life point gain effects within the deck, which then trigger effects with the monsters. What I would say about Aromage as a disclaimer to begin with is that you have to play this anti-meta. You can't play full focus Aromage on Legacy of the Duelist outright to try and roll over people, because you're just going to get burned, and quite badly at that. So anti-meta focused Aromage, very trap heavy, things like Card of Demise in there, a lot of reinforcement, try and shut your opponent out and stop them making plays, and for certain decks this is just an absolute nightmare to deal with. So we'll be getting into a deck list for this in just a moment, guys. What I would say first of all is, if you like our videos, please hit that like button for us. Any support you give us is much appreciated. I'm going to set a small like goal of 5 likes for this video, so if you can help us achieve that, that would be absolutely fantastic. And also, if you're either new to the channel or you want to see more of our content and videos, consider subscribing to us. You can do that either by clicking the subscribe button below this video, or you can click the Aromage circle at the end, and this is just to ensure we can keep bringing you more videos and great content for Legacy of the Duelist and other things. And again guys, we appreciate any support that you give to us, and we think this is absolutely fantastic and we really enjoy doing it, and we always love to hear from you. Without any further ado then guys, we're going to get into a deck list for this. So spells first of all, we're using 2 Aroma Garden, 3 Card of Demise, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. The reason why I chose Mystical Space Typhoon over Twin Twister is because you don't generally have to worry too much about opponent's back row, and you don't really want to be discarding cards in this. You tend to need the cards that you have quite a lot. So there are some decks that can afford cards like Twin Twister. There's a lot of the cards are recyclable, etc. I wouldn't say this is one of them. Double Poison of the Old Man. Bit of life point gain. This comes in so handy, like you wouldn't believe how good this is in here. 2 pot Duality. I thought 3 would be a little bit overkill, so we've just gone for 2, just enhance some consistency a little bit. 1 Raigeki, 2 Terraforming. The reason why I've gone for 2 Aroma Garden and 2 Terraforming is because with Card of Demise, if you have multiple Aroma Gardens, you don't want to just be wasting them, so you can get the most out of Card of Demise. Terraforming is quite handy in combination with this card. Trap cards then. Defensive Battle Trap, so we're playing 2 Blazing Mirror Force. Really helpful, just helps protect your monsters a little bit, do a little bit of damage here and there. Bottomless Trap Hole. 2 Fiendish Chain. Gone Fiendish Chain just because there are some monsters with troublesome effects. The reason why I'm not using Strike instead of Fiendish Chain is that this can pretty much hit everything that's not a normal monster. And you know, there are magic planter variants of this deck as well, so you know, continuous traps are handy for that. We're playing 1 Grand Horn of Heaven. This was 2, but I replaced 1 with a Solemn Warning just because it's helpful. Like, Warning's a really good card. So this is also really helpful though. I would consider siding a second. So during your opponent's main phase, when there's special summon a monster, negate the summon. If you do, destroy that monster, then your opponent draws 1 card, then you end the main phase. So it sends them straight to battle phase. Can help shut them out and buy you some time. I'm playing double Humid Winds. The reason why I don't play triple in here is consistency is generally quite good. Yes, you do want to see this card, but you don't want to be drawing too many of them late game when you can't use them anymore. People don't generally destroy this that often, which I can't understand why, because it's such a good card. Double lose 1 turn, so the deck doesn't special summon a lot. It's all about slowing your opponent down and limiting their effects, and this is just absolutely disastrous to a lot of decks. They'll hate this card. 1 Macrocosmos, so you don't need your cards to go to the graveyard. You know, it's here nor there whether that happens for you, but it can hurt a lot of other decks, as you'll well know. Double Quaking Mirror Force, again, more defensive battle traps. Shut down those troublesome monsters, things that can't be destroyed or that are going to avoid it, etc. Great for that sort of stuff. 1 Solemn Warning. We're playing 1 Starlight Road just to defend those back rows a little bit. Twin Twister and cards such as that are a bit you know, running rampant at the minute. So it is good to just rein that in, have a bit of protection there. Also can protect your monsters, Dark Hole, Raigeki, that sort of stuff. One Vanity's Emptiness, shut down those special summons a bit easier. And now for the monsters, we're running 3 Aromage Jasmine. So she should draw power. Whenever you gain life points, you can draw a card. First of all, once per turn. And then during your main phase, while your life points is higher than your opponent, you can normal summon 1 plant type monster in addition to your normal summon or set, except Aromage Jasmine. So it helps you populate the field a little bit as well. We're using 3 Aromage Rosemary. So Rosemary, while your life points is higher than your opponent's, if you have a plant type monster, if a plant type monster you control attacks your opponent, cannot activate monster effects until the end of the damage step. So fantastic, it turns your monsters into an Archimedes basically. Well, for the monster effect at least. And then once per turn, if you gain life points, target 1 face-up monster on the field and change its battle position. So that's absolutely fantastic. Like, there are cards like Humid Winds which allow you to gain life points in your opponent's turn as well. So if they summon a monster, you gain the life points, you activate Rosemary to switch it to defense, and you can just lock people out like that. It's really, really good. So in addition to the removal, then we're playing more removal cards, which is Banisher of the Radiance. Any card that would be sent to the graveyard is banished instead. This can be an absolute nightmare for some decks. If you're playing against something that's Synchro orientated, Pendulum orientated, anything like that, this is just an absolute nightmare for them, and they will try and get rid of this as soon as they possibly can. With you having so many traps, etc., you can defend this card quite easily. And the same goes for Fossil Dyna. So neither player can special summon monsters. When this card flips face up, destroy all special summon monsters on the field. So again, just shutting out those special summons, slowing down your opponent, stopping them from doing anything basically. It's just Aromage / you cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh deck basically. And it is absolutely fantastic just for locking people down and shutting them out alone. Extra deck then, main focus is just on Winter Cherry's targets for other decks. Obviously we've got Stardust in there. You can go into some of the rank 4s, but you'll very rarely need to. We've got a Gemnite Pearl there just for when lose 1 turn's active as well, so you can summon it straight out and stay in attack position. But the other ones just Winter Cherry's targets for stuff you might play against, things that might be quite troublesome to you. And side deck again, just cards that are going to help against decks that you play against quite a lot, against things that are a bit more meta-y. And just, yeah, anything that might give you any trouble in particular. So on a summary for it all then, this deck it's actually good. It's surprisingly strong. If you play quite considered and you pay attention to what your opponent's doing and where your cards are and the advantage you can maintain, you get a bit bricky sometimes, or there'll be times where there are certain things you can't get around, but that happens with absolutely everything. Consistency rate, I've got to say, is really good. The only troublesome thing is that in your longer games, there are some times where you might run out of monsters. That's where like Daigusto Emeral and the extra deck and stuff come in, which will help. And obviously if you've got Humid Winds, you can go for a search to get one of those monsters out of your deck again. However, I would say it's absolutely fantastic to play. It is loads of fun, and it will give your opponent a hell of a lot more trouble than you think. So I'd encourage you all to try it out. So yeah, that sums it up for today then, guys. Again, if you do like our videos and our content, like, comment, share with your friends, and consider subscribing to us. If you do have any comments, any suggestions, any feedback whatsoever, don't be shy, post that in the comment section below. We're always happy to hear from you, and we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Until next time, guys, peace. Peanut out.